What to do when you get paid. Here's how I manage my money on payday. Here's a 4-step routine to master your payday. Step 1 is knowing your financial situation. So add up what you spend in a month on basic living costs, and basic living costs include rent, utilities, your phone bill, Wi-Fi, groceries. Now the general rule of thumb here is the 50-30-20 rule, which is you split your after-tax income by 50% goes to needs, 30% goes to wants, and 20% goes to savings. This is a general rule of thumb, so feel free to flex it to suit you. Step 2 is structuring your finances. This effectively means, where does your money go? You can put it towards the following. Okay, so this step has like 6 parts, and this is the good stuff, so stick with me on it. Number 1 is your emergency fund. Your emergency fund is like your rainy day fund, where you set aside some money to cover any unexpected expenses, like you lose your job, or your phone breaks, or your car breaks down. Typically, people keep about 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in a high yield savings account as their emergency fund. Interestingly, in the UK, the average amount of money held in a UK savings account is £17,365. And up to a third, about 34% of adults in the UK either have no savings or less than £1,000 in a savings account. Also, almost 2/3, about 65% of people in the UK believe they wouldn't be able to last 3 months without borrowing money. Now that is just scary. Meanwhile, in the US, about 44% of Americans can't pay an unexpected $1,000 expense from savings. In Ireland, 1 in 4, about 25% of Irish adults have less than €500 set aside for a rainy day, with almost half of these reporting that they have no financial cushion at all. In Ireland, about 20% of people have an emergency fund of €10,000 or more. It's scary how many people are not able to cover an emergency expense. So do get building your emergency fund to set yourself up. Number 2 is pay off your high interest debt. So let's start with why paying off high interest debt is so crucial. So high interest rates are like over 6 or 7%. If you've got credit cards, for example, or payday loans or other debts with that high level of interest rates, they are eating away at your paycheck faster than you think. For example, a credit card with over a 6% interest rate can turn a small balance into an increasingly bigger problem. Now, the longer you carry that debt, the more your money goes towards the interest payment as opposed to paying off the actual balance. So calculate how much you can allocate towards your high interest debt payments. Remember, every dollar or euro you throw at that debt, it saves you from paying interest in the future. Now, if you have multiple debts, one method is to focus on paying off the one with the highest interest rate first. This is called the avalanche method. By tackling the most expensive debt, you can free up more of your money in the long run to attack other balances. Or you can use the snowball method for tackling debt. The snowball method is where you aim to pay off the smallest debt first. And once that debt is paid off, you take the money that you were putting towards paying that debt off towards the next smallest debt that you owe. And when that's paid off, you go and tackle the next smallest debt until everything's paid off. Also, set up automated payments for your high interest debt. This would ensure that you don't miss a due date and can also help you avoid the late fees. Plus, I think automation helps you stay consistent, which is key to getting debt-free faster. Number 3 is your holiday and gift fund. This is when you put aside money for things like gifts, wedding guest gifts, and holidays, and even Christmas, which all can add up crazy fast. In the US, the average cost of attending a wedding is about $580. And in the UK, the average cost of attending a wedding is now about £451, which is about 19% of the average UK monthly salary. Weddings are getting expensive, even if you're attending as a guest. And all the gifts and birthday presents, it all can add up pretty quickly. So plan in advance by putting aside money early for these. There's a lot of talk about emergency funds, but there's not enough talk about how we can save up in advance for unexpected birthday party gifts, or just presents for your family and friends, or even setting aside money for Christmas. Emergency funds are great, but I wouldn't dip into the emergency fund for gifts or holidays, that kind of thing. So by having a dedicated holiday and gift fund where you're consistently contributing to even a little bit to it, it can help you create that little buffer so that when a holiday comes up, or you're invited to a birthday, or your friends to get married and you go to a wedding, you have enough saved so that you can attend these things and actually enjoy the celebrations without having to stress over money to attend these things. Number 4, and this is one of my favorites, and I call it the You Fund. This is where you can set aside money to invest in you, which is anything from books or courses, or essentially level up your ability to earn. I think that investing in yourself can help you dramatically level up your ability to earn more, whether that's in your current job or you want to retrain for a new job. Even in the banking industry or the management consultancy industries, people do additional qualifications while they're working. Myself and my friends, we did this too. We'll work the day jobs and then we'll do the additional qualifications, which are, say, industry standard qualifications outside of our day job. Yes, it takes a lot of time because you're doing a full intense day, and then after work you go to a class or like a prep course, or you have to do your homework assignments. But these extra courses can help you level up in terms of your skill, your knowledge, and you can apply that whether it's in your current job, like some of the industry specific qualifications, or you want to retrain, for example. So I find that setting aside some money to invest in yourself is a fantastic way for you to consistently be placing resources into a fund where you can use that to enhance yourself. Number 5, investments. So this means making sure you're using the allowances in your country. Now, every country has different allowances that you can use. For example, in the UK, you can put up to £20,000 per tax year into an ISA. And this ISA can be a cash ISA, so you're just holding it in cash, or it can be a stocks and shares ISA where your money is invested inside this ISA wrapper. Meanwhile, in the US, there are Roth IRAs, which is the ISA UK equivalent, and in Canada, there is the TFSA, which is the tax-free savings account. So make sure you check what is available in your country because every country is different. Like Ireland don't have an ISA equivalent, for example. Number 6 is retirement and pensions accounts. So here you can look to maximize your workplace pension match. Some companies, some employers offer employer match, which is where your employer will match the contribution that you make. So say you put in £100, your employer will pay up to a certain amount as well. And that amount can depend on the company, the employer. So check if your company offer an employer match. And if they do, try and maximize that if you can. Okay, so now that you've structured your finances, you know where your money is going to go, you have all the different buckets that your money will flow to. Now what we're going to do is step 3, which is creating systems. We create systems to win here. And by creating systems, we automate everything. So you don't have to think about it. So that can mean automating your bill payments, automating credit card payments, automating your contributions to your investment accounts, your retirement or pension accounts. And if for some reason you cannot automate a payment, make sure to put it in your diary or calendar to make sure that you pay it on time. Automating your finances means you can stay consistent with where your money is going. You also know where your money is going, and it reduces all this mental stress of having to remember on X day you have to make this payment, on another day you have to make another payment here. When it's automated, you can just set it and forget it. And it's a bit more relaxing knowing that everything's automated. And step 4, and this is so important, is review. So once a month, sit down and review your finances. Even add it to your calendar to remind you if that's what helps you. And when you sit down to review your finances, you can ask yourself, did you stick to your budget? Why or why not? What is working and what is not working for you? Do you need to adjust your budget? And can you increase your contributions, maybe to your savings, your other goals, like maybe you want to save for a house deposit or down payment, or increase your contributions to your investment account or retirement accounts. You can also take this time to review your net worth. Now, I created a free net worth tracker. It's what I've used. It's linked in the description box below. And I found it really helpful to track my net worth over time. And I can use it to stay consistent, see my progress, and I find it so nice to see the progress made over the years. So go check it out. The free net worth tracker is in the link in the description below. But here's a caveat. Everyone's situation is completely different. So it would be really silly to give a specific percentages of how much to put into your holiday fund or gift fund, for example. But the general rule of thumb, as I said before, is the 50-30-20 rule. And if you can increase the savings number, then great. Remember to flex the percentages to suit your goals. Maybe your goal is to build an emergency fund, or maybe you've already built that emergency fund, so now your goal shifts from building an emergency fund to saving for a house deposit, or to save for a car, or to maximize your personal allowances depending on the country that you're in. I find that there's no one size fits all, so find what works for you. So here's a payday routine to help you master your money on payday. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the bell button, and subscribe for more on how you can master your money and energy. See you in the next one, guys. Bye!